No. I think I should start with taking you to the very beginning. It all started in the summer of 2015, which was the summer right before I entered university. And I came across these pictures on the internet of people's desks and their study areas and their notes. These pictures were very motivating to me, so I was trying to find something similar on Instagram, but it didn't really exist at the time. There were a few accounts, but not a lot, so I decided to create something myself, to create a page myself. And that was the start of WaysToStudy. This Instagram page was really something that was for me, just for me personally, to motivate myself. So if you go back to my very first pictures, it says things like, you can do this, or you got this, and stuff like that, because it was really to motivate myself. And then I started growing really fast. So I grew a lot of followers, and people really liked following my journey, looking at my pictures, getting motivated by them. And at the same time, I also saw a great number of people asking me, hey, how do you stay motivated? How do you take your notes? How do you plan your time? And at first, when I got a comment like that, I would, give a whole answer in the comments. But then I saw that these questions were just returning and returning, so people kept asking them. So I had to figure out kind of a new platform to post these answers to these frequently asked questions, so I could just refer to that platform. And I created two platforms. At the time, WaysToStudy.com was born and my YouTube channel was born. When I created these new platforms, I made a very conscious decision not to show my face on these platforms. When I was in my first year as a law student, one of my professors made a remark about, pictures of yourself on the internet. And he said, your employer can easily find you on Facebook, on Instagram, and if he sees all these kinds of pictures of you partying or, not being serious or something like that, you can say goodbye to the job that you really want. And I really took this advice to heart when I made the decision for myself not to show my face. A second reason why I chose not to show my face was because my content was about, how to make good planning or how to stay motivated or how to take notes. It wasn't about a certain person or a certain phase. It was about, the tips, the student life, the lifestyle tips and productivity tips. That was what it was about. So in my opinion, it didn't really need a face to really explain all of that. On YouTube, I was very, very lucky because my first video that I uploaded went viral. So it has millions of views right now. And because my first video went viral, all my other videos were also boosted. I got a lot of new subscribers, a lot of people, who were suddenly following me. My Instagram also grew a lot at the time. So I was really, really growing a lot. And suddenly I, had this really, really huge platform, YouTube and Instagram, where I could, share my tips and share my life. And of course, people were also wondering, why doesn't she show her face? Of course, there were also a lot of people who were starting to wonder, why doesn't she show her face? She's sharing so much of her life, but not her face. It was very uncommon for me not to show my face. And at one point, it was asked so many times that I had to create a separate page on my website, WaysToStudy.com, explaining why I'm not showing my face. And that's actually the most visited page on my whole website. And everyone who has read my page about why I'm not showing my face has always been very understanding and very respectful towards my decision. So people were like, oh yeah, I can really see why you're not showing your face. You're very serious about this, and you know, I actually don't mind not seeing your face. Your content is good enough as it is. And this went on for years and years until everything changed on August 15th, 2021. Does my microphone work? Can you hear this?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Do I sit here?
Yes.
Okay, great. My name is Rose, and I'm the person behind WaysToStudy. I revealed my face on August 15th, 2021. I did this by posting a video with my face in it, and I didn't give you guys a warning, and I also didn't explain why I did that, and I think I owe you guys an explanation. I started thinking about revealing myself about 2 years ago. I was home alone and I was just, making a little video of myself, before I went to bed. And it was nothing special really, but I felt the sudden urge to post it on my Instagram page. It was something like good night or something. I sent it to my boyfriend and to my sister asking, hey, should I post this on my Instagram? And my sister was like, oh my god, yes, people would be so shocked. And my boyfriend was like, did you really think about this? I thought you didn't want to show your face. And then I was like, yeah, that's correct. I shouldn't, rush this. I'm not gonna do it. So I didn't post that specific video. But that idea of revealing myself never really left. So I kept wondering what would happen if I show my face, what would happen if I reveal myself. And I kept thinking about this for a long time, and I also started to discuss this idea with people around me. So I discussed this with my boyfriend, with my sisters, with other people around me. I asked them, what would you think if I started to show myself? So this idea of showing my face and revealing myself on my Instagram page and my YouTube channel didn't really leave me. I kept thinking about it. I started practicing, making videos, little vlogs for myself. Like, what would that look like if I, showed my face and created like a vlog, or maybe another type of video, or if I would explain my day, what would it look like if I showed my face with that? Because everyone around me wasn't sure, I didn't go through with it because I really value their advice. And if everyone says that it's a bad idea, it's probably a bad idea. But that changed this summer because for the first time my boyfriend also changed his mind around this subject. So he was also starting to wonder what would happen if you showed your face. And I was also like, what would happen if I showed my face? So we were starting to wonder, what would happen, what would change in our lives. So there were 3 big things that we had to consider before making the final decision. First of all, my career, because the whole reason why I didn't show my face in the first place was because of my future career. I wanted to be taken seriously by my boss, my clients, my colleagues, everyone. And at the time when I started in 2015, YouTube or Instagram weren't taken very seriously in the general public. And that's kind of what I went with for a very long time. But nowadays you have lawyers who have an own Instagram page, showing their lives. You have doctors who are, documenting their days and giving general advice around health issues. So it's not just, very unserious subjects and pranks and, things that aren't serious. There's also a very educational side of it, focusing on being productive and creating a productive and motivated lifestyle for yourself. That's a whole different area that's, very serious. A second reason why it wouldn't really hurt my career is because I already put, WaysToStudy on my resume. So if I, apply for a job, it's also on my resume because I have a lot of experience editing videos, creating videos and photos, sending professional emails, maintaining business relationships. So there are, in fact, a lot of serious sides of it that are actually very beneficial to show my future employer, because I have managed to learn so many skills while doing all of this in my free time. The second thing we had to consider is fame and how to deal with that. So of course I'm not the most famous YouTuber or Instagrammer ever, and I'm not claiming to be. But I do have a rather large following. My followers on Instagram and my subscribers on YouTube combined, they're almost 1 million people, which is a lot. And one of the things that I was afraid of is that I would get recognized in the streets. I'm not a person who is looking for attention, and I think I would get rather shy if people would approach me and be like, hey, are you WaysToStudy? I think that would make me a little bit uncomfortable. And in the past, I've also had a couple of people who have recognized me in real life because of the way I act and the way I talk and, you know, my jewelry. And they've recognized me because of those things without ever seeing my face. So that's really funny. People were already recognizing me, but I was afraid that if I would show my face, that I would, you know, if I would look very grumpy in the streets, that people would have a very bad impression of me. So that was also something we had to think about and, you know, really consider and, you know, really think it through. And the third thing we had to think about was you guys. So, of course, you guys have known me forever. I've created a lot of videos, and I would have to think about you. You know, what do you think about all of this? Do you think it adds something to the content? And would it improve what we're already putting out here? So in my older videos, when I had to create a video, I didn't show my face. So I had to kind of go with these voiceovers, and then I would film something else. For example, I would film me making my coffee and drinking my coffee. And if I had to create a video like that, I would easily have like 100 short clips, and then I would have to edit all of those for a 10-minute video. And it was so much to do this every time, and it was very tiring and exhausting to go through this process the whole time, because at one point you're thinking, okay, what do I have to film now? Your creative juices are not endless, of course. So it was starting to get very tiresome to film new scenes every time. And if I film like this, you know, talking to the camera, I can easily reduce the amount of work I have to put into one video, and I can directly speak to you. So we can connect right now on a level that we could never reach before I showed my face. And that is something that is such a huge bonus to me. So that was definitely one of the positive sides. And at the end, we didn't think everything through. So there were a couple of things that were still running in the back of my head, and I was still thinking about them while we were uploading the video in which I revealed my face. And we were like, okay, just screw it. We're going to upload that video and we'll see what's going to happen. You know, what's the worst that can happen? If I fail to get a career after this, I can still, you know, make a career out of YouTube. You know, I can continue doing this. Or if a future employer doesn't want to work with me because I'm creating these kinds of videos, I think there are a lot of employers who would love to have someone like me who is creative like this. So I don't think it's the end of the world. So we just decided to go for it. And then on that very day, that August 15th, 2021, I uploaded the video in which I revealed my face. Yeah, let's do a round of questions.
Okay. Do you have any regrets?
No.
If you could go back, is there anything you would have done differently?
I don't think I would change anything if I could go back, because I think this was for me mentally the right moment to reveal myself. If I would have done it 2 years back when I first thought of revealing myself, I don't think I was ready back then to make such a decision, and I don't think I would have seen the consequences of revealing myself.
What happens with WaysToStudy?
What happens with WaysToStudy?
Yes.
Well,